Fred Scott, 4404-2671, infantry. Ended up in grave registration. I was home, 2508 Parkview Avenue, and the newspaper was running around, war was declared. That was it. I was drafted when I was 18, and had to go to the inspection, and there was a psychiatrist there, the doctor, and asked me about girls, and I blushed. So he said, "You're emotionally immature. In 6 months you come back." And I went back in 6 months and went to the basic training in infantry. It took me the basic training to Spartanburg, South Carolina for the training that we had. I had an interesting experience when you're not supposed to volunteer for anything, but they asked for people who knew how to ballroom dance to take 2 steps forward. And I mistakenly did it, but it turned out real good because I went to go to a dance down in Spartanburg and I met this real nice girl. I went back into the infantry and trained more, and I was in the last depot before the front lines, and the Germans heard I was going to come up to the front lines and fight them. So they threw up their hands and quit. So they wrote 3 different orders on me. An order to go to the University of Bologna to finish my education. The second was to go to a trucking company. And the third one, which is the one that I had to take whether I wanted to or not, go to Japan. So I went to the port of debarkation and was waiting there, and all of a sudden the Japanese heard I was coming, so they threw up their hands and quit. So I stayed in Italy. I stayed in Mirandola, Italy, on the outside of Modena, in a grave registration outfit. I had German prisoners of war working for me, and then after that, Italian laborers working for me. And the Italian laborers, I gave them the day off if they could dig 2 graves. And they get 2 graves and finish by noon. And let's see, the experience I had was I don't know why I was able to go into a morgue tent and identify the bodies by their body chart or their tooth chart. And whenever they didn't have their dog tags, I'd send out a report on showing what all I'd done, and it would come back and tell me who they were. And that was a real experience for me, and I loved it. Like, they were buried in the graveyard that I was in charge of, and there's a morgue tent at the back, and you had to go back and identify them. And sometimes it would come straight from the hospital. And when they came in from the hospital, they were fully dressed, and they had boots, and one of the German PWs stole the boots, and I had him dig a 6x6 and bread and water for a week. And that was a good experience. I loved what I was doing, and I don't know why it didn't bother me, but it didn't. And I talked in my sleep anyway, and they thought it was getting to me, so they sent me to Switzerland. What was known as what do you call the sheets? No, bags, and they sold for a whole lot of bags. They would try to steal them because it was made of what? Of silk? No, whatever it was made of, and they sold for quite a bit. And let's see. Oh yes, when they decided that repatriation is what they call it. When the morticians came over to send the bodies back, he gave it out to the morgue. "Where's your smelling salts? Where's your stuff?" I said, "Where's your gloves?" Where? And they couldn't stand it. They had to get out. Okay, I got something to say to the young men. Said, just trust in God and do exercise and eat right and sleep right. Back on the GI Bill to finish up, but I went girl crazy and didn't finish up. I got a job in wholesale drugs and inventory control. And made it from there. And that's it. That's my life story. Back then, you didn't have a choice. You were drafted. And after I got in, I was glad that I was able to do something to help promote the United States.